Profiles Mississippi Radio is the name of the program. I'm Jack Chris, your host. I'm also the publisher of Profiles Mississippi Magazine. Our guest in the studio for the first segment of the show is Jeff Good, owner of Bravo, Broad Street, and Salad Mookies, restaurants here in Jackson. Julie Skipper will be joining us around 10:35, 10:40 to talk about all things Jackson, because if anybody knows it, she does. Jeff, who is the most, I'm sure you've had many, but the most famous guest to grace one of your establishments?
Well, that'd be Jack Chris.
Well, no, I was going to say present company excluded and Edward St. Pay.
You know, we had Bobby Flay here last year, and that comes to mind just because we've got a lot of respect for that. That man's a great chef and great character.
Can I jog your memory?
Absolutely.
Because I've got a little story.
Yeah, I figured I knew you had something here.
Because, you know, I drink early, and this was years ago before I was remarried, but I walked in Bravo. It was about 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I noticed a lady sitting by herself in the back. I didn't pay much attention to her. I was doing my business and whatnot, and she left, and one of your staff members came up to me and said, "You know who that was? Did you see the lady leave?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I saw her. Who was it?" It was Faye Dunaway.
Oh, yeah.
She was in town
when she was filming.
Yeah, and she was eating alone. You know?
She was she fell in love with our restaurant, and she had a very particular diet regime.
Yeah.
And started taking to go with us, and I remember this brings back a lot of memories. It was a very difficult transaction to pull off every day, but we were fortunate that we did it well, and so she kept on coming back. And that's a good you know, I think for any business, that if you're able to take a challenge and deliver it well and deliver it in abundance to a guest, no matter how difficult they are, if you nail it, they will return. You mentioned this. My favorite story is another movie star, Kiefer Sutherland, during the filming of A Time to Kill. This would be what, 13, 14 years ago.
Yeah.
He was a regular in our bar each evening. But it wasn't Kiefer that was the interesting guy. It was his body double. And I forget this guy's name, but he was the body double, and he was the guy that would you know, set the marks and do all the things while the stars are off in the trailer. You know, he's the guy doing all the grunt work.
Yeah.
And it was so fascinating to get to know this guy because his entire fortune was tied up in Kiefer Sutherland. So this guy was the #1 fan for Kiefer Sutherland, and he was Slavic or something. So he talked like this, and he goes, "You know, Kiefer is an amazing star. He is the best star I've ever seen. You know, Kiefer, he is amazing." And it was so funny. He would just, everyone he'd meet, he would just sit there on a full tilt sales pitch for Kiefer, and it really took me a while to figure out what he was doing. It's like, the dude's saving his job. He's just making sure that Kiefer's got the next job. But it's so funny.
Well, and I also remember, and I don't know if you still do this, but at one time, our dear mutual friend, Laura Abramson, and I've lost touch.
Laura Sandwich.
With Laura, yeah, Laura Sandwich. You had specialized meals. Yes. Now, have you grown a little too big for that? Or
no, we've got keys on the point of sale system at each restaurant. My favorite right now is Irene Jones, Tracy Jones, who eats with us at Broad Street twice a day. She has Irene's Burrito, which is a breakfast burrito made a certain way, and we just hit the key and go. So those of you that are listening, if you have a particular need and configuration of an item and you order it on a regular basis from us, all you need to do is talk to one of our managers, and we're flexible enough with our point of sale system. They're able to put your own key, and it shows up on your receipt, and you can take it to your tax man and say, "Look."
How about one of those little square hamburgers?
Well, I didn't say I'd change the way things work. I just said I'd name it something.
Jeff, you know, Salad Mookies, when the restaurant was announced and when you were going to open it, I think, and I don't mean to sell you short, but I honestly thought, and I'm sure a few other people thought, it was just going to be a pizza place, you know? Maybe the white tablecloth, the checker tablecloth, and no big deal. The first time we walked in, my family and I was surprised. I mean, it's a beautiful place, and it's a little bit upper scale. You've got the pie lounge in Salad Mookies. It's kid-friendly, and yet the adults can slip off to the side. I mean, was that modeled on another concept? Was there a little creative theft? Or?
Like all things, you know, you get ideas from different places.
Yeah.
I don't know that outside of a Roman cafe or Little Italy themed restaurant in terms of color, wood, red, white checker tablecloths, basic concept for menu, I don't know that there is a model for what we created, because the Salad Mookies New York Pizza and Ice Cream Joint, the concept was approachable, great New York style pizza and ice cream, family friendly, No video games, no TVs, nothing that would take people away from the experience of eating together. When we opened, the Pie Lounge you just mentioned was an ice cream shop. It was a walk-in
Right,
scoop shop.
right.
The bar was actually in the back of the restaurant. We found that that was a big problem in that we had guests that wanted a bar experience because of where we're located in Fondren, the Arts and Entertainment District, you know, young creatives, they wanted a place to hang out. We also had a problem that where we put the ice cream shop, we couldn't deliver the ice cream to the tables because we had issues. So we decided after 8 months of opening to flip, and we created a bar out of the scoop shop and moved the scoop shop function to the middle of the dining room. That would be the model if we had to do it all over again, we would do. And it's been amazing for the past 18 months that, you, like you said, there's a duality there. You can have a totally different experience in the front of the restaurant if you're an adult and you want to have a cocktail and you want to have you know, time with your friends and have something to eat, or if you're, you know, wanting to have dinner with your family or
And get the ice cream.
and get the ice cream. It's and you know, the bottom line of Sal Mookie's, it's about quality, it's about an extraordinary differentiated product from top to bottom. It's about great kids that want to serve it. It's a lot of fun.
Jeff, in the few minutes we've got left, it's no secret that you are an active member of the community. You're an outspoken member of your community, which is good, and you should be. You're a local business person. Jackson's getting a new mayor,
Yes.
a mayor who's been in place,
Yes.
but he's back again, which is unusual. Give me your take.
I had the blessing of last night being at a huge supportive turnout for the mayor at the University Club. Julie was there. I'm sure she'll mention some of this as well. Mayor Johnson gave a tremendous and brief, focused talk about the very hard subject that must be addressed, and I was personally really excited that he brought this up. He nailed the real issue of what the problem is in Jackson. We have a tremendous problem with poverty, and that we've got to focus the efforts of our community on dealing with this in a structured way. I've always thought that Jackson is a small enough community that with the right leadership and creativity, anything can be solved here because we're small enough yet having
It's
big enough.
manageable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like the Japanese call it a dojo. You can create an exercise room to exercise your skills before going out in the real world. The mayor made a call to action that this is a tough thing to talk about. It's what's the base of crime. It's what's in the base of the problem with the public school systems right now. It's that 1 out of 4 folks is under the poverty line, and so the issue is job creation and quality of life. And job creation, that means that is a wonderful call to action. That means Ben Allen and Mayor Johnson and the Economic Development Department, this is a focused effort to bring new opportunities to the city. And that is for those of us that aren't in the business of contracting or getting city contracts. You know, a lot of folks that work for the benefit of the city, there's usually another issue. You know, it's a
Absolutely,
business
there is.
issue.
Yeah.
I'm doing business in Jackson, and Dan and I have tried specifically to invest in this city because we believe in it. It's home. We're trying to do the right thing. We're trying to create our own job creation. We've got tons of folks that are exactly that profile, the poverty line folks, and we try to work so hard to give them opportunities. The deal is, I've got twin girls that are 12. I can't wait when they're in their later teen years that they are able to have a full experience in our city, to be able to go out with friends and to choose venues for divertisement that are here, that are fun.
Well, we're getting
safe,
there.
and we are.
We are.
And that's what